But what I was reminded of was something I've been meaning to talk about before. And 2 weeks ago, when I went off on my rant about Cisco overselling their, quote, seeing into encrypted communications, which really looked like it reduced to using DNS metadata, I forgot to mention, and this reminded me of something that some very good friends of mine and of the show have done. And these are the Nerds on Site folks, who were one of our very early podcast sponsors.
Dave's
when we
in the chat room right now, I think.
Well, David Redekop is the person whose name is on the blog. What these guys created is something called DNSthingy.
Good name.
It's a great name, DNSthingy. DNSthingy.com is the site, and they nailed it. It is a affordable subscription service, less expensive than the other things that we've seen, and what they've done is they've fully thought through the power of DNS. That is, even in a land of encrypted communications, devices in your intranet have to get the IP that they're connecting to. As we know, by default, DNS is not encrypted. So this allows them to exert very granular per device controls. So, for example, the kids' iPads or computers could have time restrictions put on them so that they just stop being useful at bedtime. They can have, family-safe content filtering put on them or not. The whole internet can appear to be shut down or not. They've got add-on. They have installable firmware for ASUS routers and a whole list of them that they support, or routers based on ClearOS, or my favorite, pfSense. So as we know, you could take a very inexpensive little standard router PC, load it up with pfSense, add DNSthingy to it. They've got a beautiful little dashboard for configuring it. Anyway, we know who these guys are. They're 100% above board. They're the real deal, great people. So I would commend our listeners to take a look. Just check out DNSthingy.com. One quick way to get a sense for it is to go to the blog and scroll back down through David's postings, because it's active, it's being maintained. They're all fired up about it, and I just think, it's the way to deal with a post-encryption world where you still want to apply per-device controls. One thing you could do, for example, is constrain what your IoT devices can do. You could say to your camera, you are only allowed, camera, to look up the IP of the service that supports you and nothing else. So if malware got in there, it couldn't go checking out command and control servers anywhere else. Its DNS queries would get blocked. Oh, and it does ad blocking too. So you could say, I want specific devices to be ad blocked, or the whole household to have ad blocking.
Is it hardware?
No, it's it is
it's
software.
It's just an update to your router.
Right.
Some
exactly.
routers do this, of course. In fact, the Eero just added this feature to their routers. So that's cool. So if your router doesn't do it, although even routers with access control lists, not a lot of them have ad blocking. That seems like a pretty – I don't think the Eero does ad blocking.
Well, and again, like they sat down, and as we know, they're techie, and they said, okay, what's everything we can do? So there's like time-based restrictions, per device restrictions, and way more. So it's very capable for a family router where mom and dad want to manage what the kids can do. You want content blocking, you want time restrictions. And for example, you could also prevent somebody. I saw this at some point on the page or on the site. You can prevent someone from changing their DNS to something else in order, for example, the what they used was forcing Open DNS to be used and prevent someone from changing to something else in order to get around Open DNS's restrictions. So I've been meaning to talk about it. DNSthingy.com. These guys did a great job.
That looks cool. They do relocation too, so you can access geographically restricted content. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated. Wow. Nice job, Dave.